Welcome to the channel. Fantasy Premier League queries. Should I buy Ronaldo? The Portuguese striker, Cristiano Ronaldo, is a great football player with numerous tremendous world records and trophies. He is one of the biggest signings of the Premier League. His previous seasons on United with a total of 66 goals and 29 assists show that he was a point magnet player. Undoubtedly, his stats attract all the 100,000 fantasy managers to keep him in the squad, and many fantasy managers are in dilemma to buy him. It's a fair deal to buy Ronaldo, a 12.5 million striker, and keep him in the squad. I think he will give a good return and will not disappoint the fantasy managers. But it is not confirmed that he will start his debut game against Newcastle, and there is a high chance of him taking the set pieces too. The fantasy managers who are in dilemma, what I would like to say is you guys don't need to hurry up to buy him, just wait for the 1 or 2 games before buying Ronaldo. The upcoming back-to-back fixtures of Manchester United are difficult. The Premier League is very competitive this season, and many teams are challenging for the title. Secondly, if you already have Lukaku from Chelsea, Kane from Spurs, or Salah from Liverpool, then I think you shouldn't be hurried to get Ronaldo in the team. Keeping 2 to 3 expensive players will destroy your whole squad. I suggest having 1 or max 2 expensive players in the squad is enough. And there are so many good mid-range price players are available. Why are FPL managers selling Shaw as United is facing Newcastle? Luke Shaw is the highest owned defender, but now managers are selling him ahead of the game against Newcastle, which is an FDR of 2. Shaw is the top 5th player transfer out now. He is a good player, but his stats don't favor him. The first reason is the lack of good returns of points. In the last 3 games, he returned a total of 11 points, which was below average for the player of 5.5 million. Though the fixtures were not difficult, Manchester United was unable to maintain clean sheets in 2 games out of 3 games. Secondly, it might be due to upcoming fixtures. The back-to-back difficult fixtures are lining up till game week 13, and it will be hard to gain clean sheet points for him. Lastly, budget curtailment. The many FPL managers are using wildcard before game week 4 and trying to buy Ronaldo or Lukaku in their squad. So, in order to buy expensive attacking players, it's obvious to sacrifice the expensive defenders. When should the wild card be used? There is a total of 2 wildcards each season. One must be used before half of the season, and the other in the next half of the season. The wildcard won't be carry forwarded in any situation. Playing a wildcard can be tricky sometimes in both positive and negative ways. When the season starts, it is very difficult to choose players. Based on last season's performance, we select the players and complete the squad. Like this, many new talents and signings are avoided in the squad to take risks. So, from my personal experience, it would be better to use the wildcard between the 4th to 9th game week, but use it only when you are not getting the satisfying points or getting points below the average in back-to-back game weeks. Secondly, when you have too many injured players or unavailable players in your team and you are having difficulty playing 10 players, then that's the right time to use wildcard. Lastly, you can use wildcard before the double game week or blank game week. What are chips in the Fantasy Premier League? Excluding the wildcards, there are 3 chips available for a season. Namely, Bench Boost, Triple Captain, and Free Hit. Free Hit allows you to shake up your lineup for just 1 game week, and it can be used at any point in the season. After that game week, everything goes back to as it was before the chip was activated. Bench Boost allows your benched players to score points rather than sit there and do nothing but take up the valuable budget. Captains ordinarily score double points, but Triple Captain chip ensures your skipper's score is tripled for 1 game week. When is the best time to play chips? Undoubtedly, it is wise, safe, and better to play chips during the double game weeks. The next option is a tricky play to bench boost and triple captain before the first game week. In worst-case situations, if one's players have been injured for a short term or suspended and get short of a playing 11 by at least 3-4 players, a free hit chip can be played. It is always better to hold chips for the right time use and try not to use them all before game week 30. How to choose captain in Fantasy Premier League. Every week FPL allows you to choose one player as your team's captain, and every week it's a big dilemma to choose a captain. The points scored by the captain are doubled for that week, which doubles the dilemma in selecting the one player as captain. Performance. Firstly, always look into goals, assists, shots in the box, key passes, saves, attempts, in one word, performance of the player in recent games. Along with the performance of the player, it is necessary to check out the overall team performance also. It's preferable to choose a player with good attacking stats. Confirm starting 11 player. Even though the player with good attacking stats and high fantasy points, it is recommended to select a consistently 90 minutes player as captain. Set piece takers. Set pieces like penalties, direct-indirect free kicks, and corners are crucial in the game. Therefore, set piece takers are bonus magnet players. These players averagely have high points than other players. It is obviously safe to select a set piece taker as captain. Fixture. A fixture against a vulnerable team is preferable while selecting a captain. Opposition defensive stats is another essential factor before selecting a captain. It is better to choose a captain playing at home. FPL managers can consider these factors before selecting a captain. The best captain will be the one if you can consider all these mentioned factors. Best budget strategy. The best lineup for the Fantasy Premier League is entirely dependent on budget allocation. A proper budget will give you high points. There is no core rule for budget allocation. But I think it's better to spend approximately 10 to 12 million on goalkeepers, 20 to 30 million for defenders, 40 to 55 million on midfielders, and 10 to 20 million for forward. In conclusion, spend more on attackers than defenders.